Oh my gosh, now I want to do things. I want to be with people. I want to be around. I don't feel miserable all the time. I feel joyous. That's been the biggest change. And I know that I wouldn't be this happy, great feeling person that I am now. And that's what's made the huge difference. I actually feel good, even though, you're in pain sometimes. And so it's such a different journey when you're on cannabis. You can handle it better.
Welcome to the Well with Cannabis podcast, a show dedicated to telling the life-changing stories of those who live well with cannabis, all while teaching you how to do the same. Meet your host, Emily Kyle, a registered dietitian nutritionist turned certified holistic cannabis practitioner. Emily changed her life for the better with the help of the cannabis plant, and now she is committed to helping others do the same. Tune in each week to hear heartwarming stories and gain the knowledge you need to feel connected, inspired, and supported on your own cannabis journey. Whether you're a new cannabis consumer or a lifetime lover, you'll benefit from these uplifting tales of real-life journeys that will show you how you too can live your best life well with cannabis.
Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share a note on potentially sensitive content. The episodes on the Well with Cannabis podcast are created for adult audiences only. We will at times cover sensitive topics, including but not limited to suicide, abuse, mental illness, sex, drugs, alcohol, psychedelics, and the obvious use of plant medicine. Explicit language may be used occasionally. Please refrain from watching or listening to the show if you're likely to be offended or adversely impacted by any of these topics. The information on this show is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. If any of the content on this podcast has brought up anything for you, please reach out or speak to a professional or someone you trust. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Well with Cannabis podcast. I am so excited. We have a special guest here today, our friend Jeanne Meredith. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to get started on sharing my story with people.
I can't wait to hear your story. So it sounds like something happened in 1994. Take us all the way back. What happened then?
Well, okay. I was in a car accident, and a year later, I was still seeing a TMJ doctor and an orthopedic doctor. The TMJ doctor felt like they were missing something, that I needed to have an MRI done, because he and I became personal and just talked about things, and I shared with him what was going on. And so I went to the orthopedic doctor and I said, we need to do an MRI. And he said, I don't think so. I think all you want is pain medication. And I said, no, I'm a 29-year-old mother. I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old at home. I'm seeing another doctor, and he feels like, this is something I need to have done because we're missing something. A few days later, they did an MRI on me. I think it was within hours. If not, I'm sure it was within hours. I was called from the orthopedic doctor's office, and they said, you need to call this doctor. Let me give you this information. I called them and they said, you need to set up an appointment to come in house tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So we set up an appointment. They didn't tell me anything else. It was in Towson, Maryland. I lived 15 minutes away. So the next day, I was a young mom. My kids were 3 and 4 at the time. I remembered I had a preschool outing with my daughter that I had signed up for. So I called the doctor's office back and I said, I can't make it. They said, we need to be honest with you. You cannot miss this appointment. Get somebody else to take your daughter, and you come to the appointment with someone. And I was just, 29 years old. Nothing was wrong with me. I just figured, oh, well, I guess they can't fit me in any other time. So my mother-in-law went with my daughter. My mother went with me. When we got to the doctor's appointment, and this is something that will always stick with me, he, proceeded to examine me, stick needles in my legs, and did all these kind of things. And my mom was in the room with me. And he said, you do understand you have something gravely wrong with you. And I was like, what? He said, well, get dressed. We'll talk in the other room. So when I walked in the other room, he had a desk with 2 chairs right in front of his desk. And when he walked in, he separated the 2 chairs. He pulled one behind the other. And I said, no, I want mom to sit next to me. He said, no, you leave the chairs where they are. Well, as he pulled out the MRIs and he started to explain to me, you have a tumor inside your spinal cord. You are going paralyzed. Within 6 months, you will be paralyzed if we do not remove this. He said, this tumor has been growing in your body since you were born. You have had, I've had symptoms. I just had gotten used to them, like tripping up the steps and numbness and tingling and just, I don't know. I guess I figured I was clumsy and I just grew used to having these things with me. And so he said, there's only 2 doctors in the United States that will do surgery. One is in this office. The other is in New York. He said, the doctor that's in this office is currently in Florida. He is a neonatal doctor dealing with, tiny. And he said, that's why he's able to do this, because your tumor is located inside your spinal cord. This was in December and they wanted to do it immediately. But thankfully, I waited till after January. I went in on January 6th of 1994 because my sister had recommended. She'd been a nurse, and she said, "Jeannie, you've been living with this." I didn't take it very kindly, but she was, she understood that it didn't need to be taken out before Christmas. She's like, Christmas, have your Christmas with your kids. You don't know what you're going to get into, how long the recovery is going to be. Why ruin Christmas when you can wait another week or two? And she was absolutely right. So I did. I can remember when they woke me up. I don't remember them waking me up, but the first time they stood me up, just like you see on TV, the parallel bars, me in a wheelchair, a guy across the parallel bars attached to me, tells me to stand up, and I collapsed because I had no feeling from my waist down. Yes. So I cried and I said, put me back in bed. And thankfully I had kids, and my ex-husband brought my babies in and it was like, you can't do this. You've got to get up for these babies. And that was my turning point, that I knew that I had to get up out of that bed and I had to work. So it was a long recovery. And 20 some years later, after 3 more back surgery, I had to have a flexible fusion done, a plate put in me, and I don't know, 4 or 5 bolts and screws and all of that. I forget how many levels in my lower back. I have spinal stenosis, I don't know, all kinds, myelopathy and all kinds, just over time, the deterioration and so forth. I did obviously learn to walk again. I can't run, I can't dance, but I can walk. And
it's a miracle. I'm so happy. Wow.
It's been incredible. And like I said, my kids were huge in that. And being with me all of those years, and in me having gone through 4 surgeries, I was ready in 2018. I'm probably rushing my story. I kind of jumped from 1994 to 2018. During all that time, I had several other surgeries. I was seeing pain management. I was on over 20 prescriptions, including fentanyl patches, oxycontin, Cymbalta, trazodone, Lyrica, gabapentin. It was unbelievable the amount of medications I was on, and I was living, I thought.
Yeah.
I still every day wore a back brace. I wore lidocaine patches, and I was still going to the pain management doctor every 6 months getting injections in my spinal cord on top of all those medications. So then they were like, why don't we put in a spinal cord stimulator? So I went to my kids and I'm like, and my daughter and son both said, Mom, I was living in Maryland at the time. They live in North Carolina. Mom, you don't need another surgery. Please, why don't you look into the medical cannabis? I had never even thought about it, never crossed my mind. And my daughter at the time, we weren't close because she didn't like the person that I was. I was not a nice person. I was cranky all the time. I was short-tempered. I was miserable. Plus, what I took around my grandkids could kill them. I mean, I wore fentanyl patches in bed with my grandbabies. And my daughter's like, what in the hell are you doing? And I didn't think. I just did not think. And now I'm like, how could I not thought about that? It just... So, I had to take a lockbox and keep it out in the garage because she had found pills in the house that I had inadvertently dropped. And I don't blame her. So she was very cautious when Mimi was around, and she was on edge and I was on edge. And it was just, was not a good situation. So when she said, Mom, try the medical cannabis, thankfully it was legal in Maryland. It had just become legal through the dispensaries. I had a good primary care doctor who was all for it because I had just started with her because I was in another area of Maryland. I was seeing who's now my current husband. I was dating him, and I was seeing a doctor up in his area, and she and the pharmacist in his area were all like, what are you doing on all this medication? And here I thought it was okay.
The right thing.
I was
getting it from prescribed a doctor. It. Yeah.
Exactly. So I decided my daughter was pregnant with the fourth grandchild, and I decided by August of 2018, I wanted to be off of everything. And I was. It was tough. And then, I mean, I didn't know about the endocannabinoid system. I didn't know, dispensaries were just getting started, and so I've learned so much since then. And gosh, I am so healthy and happy and energetic, and I run around and I'm with the grandkids all the time. My daughter can't have me down there often enough. It's just been
my gosh. I'm so happy for you. Oh my goodness.
Incredible. The world that has just, I don't know how, and I guess the thing I didn't realize is I thought I was living, and I thought I was okay. And I thought I was an all right person. And now when I look back, it's like, gosh, I wish I could have done this 30 years ago,
Yes.
But it's just been, and
my gosh.
We're now in Virginia, my husband and I, we're in a 55 and older community, and I tell everybody.
Oh my gosh, really? I love that.
I do. Everybody here knows that I use cannabis, and I don't care because I am a happy person. And it's funny because when I first moved here, I'm like, well, I'm going to post it on the website so everybody knows. And then I was like, you know what? They all need to meet me first. And because they think you're stoned and you're, all people just don't understand. And then they meet me and it's like, and then I'll say, well, obviously we've lived here for almost 3 years now. So everybody knows. And I'm growing now because it's legal to grow in Virginia. Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
I've come a long way. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk a little bit about this decision to use cannabis. Your daughter suggested.
Yeah.
Do you immediately try it? Are you doing research?
I had always used cannabis.
Okay.
I did. Well, when I was younger, I didn't say always. When I was younger in high school and all, was just something we did. We got high. I don't think I went to high school once that I wasn't high. And it's weird. I went to a small private Catholic school, but looking back, it's like, that helped me get through the day. I don't know whether it was the anxiety or what, but it did. And I was a straight A student pretty much. Yeah. So, it was just, so I look back on that and I'm like, I was using it medically then. I just didn't know it,
Yes, absolutely. So do you remember it being on the medications and trying it, or did you wait till you were off the medications to try it?
When I decided to use it again, because I had stopped using it, once I had kids and all of that kind of stuff. And then I started smoking it along with the medication initially. And then when and that was before I decided to go on the medical cannabis, I just was able to get some. And then I was like, you know what, I'm using this and this, I feel like, and then when they said to go on the spinal cord stimulator and my daughter mentioned the medical cannabis, I was like, well, gosh, I'm already using sort of, I'm smoking a bowl every now and then. And I thought, you know what, there's got to be something to this. So that's what I did. I started to taper off all my medications. I went to the medical dispensary. I went to my pain management doctor and I told him what I wanted to do.
Oh my gosh. How was the pain management clinic? How did they take it?
Well, they said that they would be willing to help me titrate off of my medications, but they could no longer prescribe anything for me once yes. Right?
If no one can see me, my jaw is dropped. That is so mean.
It's just right.
That's what they tell you? They say if you're going to use cannabis, bye, we'll never see you again?
Pretty much. They said because they test you and they're not allowed to test. Once they test you and you have any illegal drug in your system, they can no longer prescribe.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that
It's
is
horrible. Yes.
It's like so
horrible.
mean to a patient
Yes.
too, when you're like just experimenting, you're not sure if it's going to work for you or not. Like it gives you no room to trial and error.
Right. So
how did you feel after that?
Oh, I mean, I had been going to them over 15 years. And
It's like so mean.
yes. And they simply said it's federally illegal. When, we're in medical school and they admitted to me that they had one other patient that went off of everything and went on Marinol, I think is the which is the prescribed
synthetic version. Yeah.
Synthetic version. And I said, no, I did not want to go on anything that I had to get pharmaceutically, that I wanted to just try everything that was natural. So then they said, well, I was getting, obviously the pain management medicine, you can only get a 30-day supply. So once I said, okay, I want to try this, then they said, okay, then we will work with getting you off of everything. And I think I was done there within 3 months.
Okay.
So
how was the experience tapering off?
It sucked. I went through withdrawal, it's the
Do they support you through that, or did they just send you home and leave you alone?
No, I had no support from them. No. Probably if I'd have reached out to them, I don't know that they would have prescribed anything though.
Right. Like
I just
what
used,
can you do?
Right, exactly. I just used I went to the cannabis dispensary, told them what I was doing, and they suggested 100 milligram THC pill, which is now I'm down. I think I take 10 when I make my edibles. I take 10 milligrams. So I did get down off of that high of a dose, but I felt like that I needed that, but I didn't feel stoned off of that because I was but that helped me with the withdrawals.
Pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
And it's incredible. Sorry, my dog. Sorry. Here, go. So and back then in 2018, the dispensaries were just getting started. So I had to learn a lot on my own. And that's where, gosh, just in 3-4 years, we've learned so much just with you, following you and your sites. And, I now, I make my own CBD and CBG oil. I use CBDA, I undecarb some because the A molecule is also healthy, beneficial. The same way with CBG. And then I use the THC, and I mostly, I grow my own. I also get some at the dispensary, and then I make my own gummies and chocolates. And so I take all of them individually, separately. So then I can figure out how my body interacts and what's working for me.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe you were able to successfully get off 20 prescription medications.
It's just been, and I'm not in pain anymore. I mean, all that crap that they had me on, I was still miserable and in pain. And then on top of that, I was lucky if I went to the bathroom twice a month. So I was all kinds of stuff. My bowels were a mess. Then I had dry eyes because of all the medication. Well, then I had to see an eye specialist. And then they were talking about putting me on a CPAP machine because my breathing was affected because of all the opioids that I was on. My teeth were all down. None of that happens anymore. I don't see an eye specialist. I don't have stomach issues. I don't have, it's
amazing. It's just incredible that you made a choice to use one single plant, and yet it has had all of these effects.
It's been incredible. And like I said, with me living in the 55 and older community, these people need to know that you don't need the pharmaceuticals and all the, gosh, how can you not watch TV and not see a pharmaceutical commercial? All the side effects. Oh my goodness.
Including death, and some of them are random, like tearing of the perineum. And you're like, excuse me, what is happening here? Yes. Like why? And yet we listen to those every day. When we're eating dinner, our kids listen to those like it's something normal. Like it's like something we should just accept.
Right, exactly. And that's why with my, I mentioned my daughter has my 4 grandkids. They've been in here. They see my cannabis plants. They see me vape. They see my oils, my gummies. They know that is Mimi's medication.
Yes.
And that is, I don't hide it from them. And, during COVID, my mask said cannabis saves lives. And I went everywhere with my grandkids and all my MRIs and my, medical doctors and all, and it just starts up conversation. And that's what we need to do, to share with people how healthy this plant is and how incredible your life can be. I mean, just here in my own neighborhood, I've helped people because you just don't know. You go to any store and get CBD, as you know, and it may not have any CBD in it. You just don't know. And then all the other crap that they put in it, so First, I met a few people. Oh, I tried that. It doesn't work. Well, where did you get it? So then I started processing my own oils here, and I share with people in my neighborhood. I make little vials up, and I tell them, just give it 30 days. Try this, because then if you tell me it hasn't helped you at all, I know that you truly tried cannabis, and I make the CBD oil and the CBG oil, and I include the 8 molecules because most people don't need the THC. So many people don't and a lot of people, because they're still working, it's still federally illegal. They're older, they have the stigma, but those kind of things. So I'm like, okay, you don't need that. Try this first and just see. And then I know, because people are like, oh, I'll pay it. No, I don't want to be paid. I want you to try it. I want you to see if it helps you. Then there's places around here you can buy it. There's pharmacies. There's good places. There's places online that I can recommend. And just try it, knowing that I know that it's the true product. And then and everybody that has stuck with it, it has helped.
I was going to say, tell me a few success stories. Like, how has that went for you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I had 2 people in my kitchen yesterday coming to get some from me here in the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh, it's exciting.
The one lady, she started out a year ago complaining her knee. She was ready to have a knee replacement. She couldn't sleep at night. She couldn't take walks. She said she'd wake up in the middle of the night and she couldn't roll, that she would have to pick her leg up and physically move it. That's how bad her pain was.
Gosh.
She has no pain now. She's been taking just the oils for a whole year, the CBD and the CBG, both of them every day for, I think she told, it's been a year now. And so my other neighbor, she was getting some and trying it with her dog, and it's like, dogs can work, and her dog stopped limping. And,
Oh my gosh. So that has to feel so good that you can share that with others.
That's my joy in life, is to share with others, because my journey's just been incredible. My life has been, the difference in my world has just been amazing. Just been amazing.
I'm so happy for you.
Not only just with my daughter and my grandkids. I mean, my husband that I'm married to now, we're coming up on our 5-year anniversary. He married me when I was on all the medications. So,
oh wow! So he's seen the whole transformation.
Yes, he's been through the whole transformation.
Oh my gosh! I bet he's happy too.
Well, most definitely.
Yes. Oh my gosh!
He didn't realize how good I could be.
Right. Exactly. And how are things with your daughter? I know you said better, but tell us a little bit about how that's went.
Well, I used to live in Maryland, and it was about a 6-hour drive to the kids. And I was lucky if I saw them 3 or 4 times a year, probably. She tolerated me. I guess that's the best way to put it. And I don't blame her. When I look back, it's like, I didn't think about it. I just didn't think about all the repercussions my world was having on her world, not only her, but her children. And, I wasn't aware of it, but people were aware of that I was on medication. When I first met my husband, who I'm with, now, it was 6 months after my most recent surgery in 2015. And I was still on fentanyl patches and all kinds of stuff. And his daughter was like, well, what in the hell is this woman one that you're getting involved with? And I was like, for her to notice, and I didn't realize it. So little by little, and that had a huge influence on me finally deciding to come off of it too, because it was like, I had heard it from my kids, obviously, and I'd heard it from my own family. But then when I heard it from somebody else that I cared about and his child. And through her eyes, I thought, oh my gosh, maybe there is something here that I'm not seeing. So that in the back of my mind. And then when my daughter mentioned, going off of it or trying the cannabis, I was like, wow, this is my way out. I could try something different. And it's so scary though. And that's what I tell people, especially when you're on such a host of medications.
Yeah. I can't imagine how scary that is.
But I'll tell you, the best day in that time frame was taking all my medications. The local police station had a drop off where you can drop off pharmaceuticals. I was getting cases of stuff. It was crazy. I took everything, took pictures and dropped it off at the police station. I was like, I am done.
Oh my gosh, that had to have been such a proud moment for you.
It was awesome. Gosh. Yes, it was. I sent pictures to my family.
An inspiration. Do you know how many people listening to this could hear this and their lives could be changed like your life?
That's why I'm sharing this with you, Emily, because people need to know that we've been lied to. We have been lied to. And it's like when I walk in places with my Cannabis Saves Lives mask, like to get my mammogram done and this and that, and people are like, and I'm like, you know what? It's really healthy for you. Have you ever heard about the endocannabinoid system? And people are like, the what? And I'm like, and once you learn about the endocannabinoid system, it's like, holy heck. How come we didn't know that? We knew it. They just didn't tell us it,
Yeah.
And learning about it
sparks that joy for education. You're like, I have to learn more.
Yes. And I share with everybody. I have special links saved on my phone and I share articles and I'm like, start with the endocannabinoid system. Once you start with that and you learn that your body that's what's in your body. Everybody has an endocannabinoid system. Everybody's body is regulated with an endocannabinoid system, and that's why it works synergistically with our body to put it in homeostasis. And people are like, what? And
you're like, I just gave you the secret to life, actually.
Right, exactly. Try it.
Yes. Now, as you're out and about in the world talking about it, do you feel any type of shame or stigma, or are you just way past that now?
No, I'm way past that.
Oh, I'm so happy. Did you ever feel like it at one point?
Yes, most definitely. And still, I have stickers on my car and I pull up next to a policeman. I'm like, oh, what's he thinking of me? It's like, and now I'm pushing 60. I'm like, hell with that, And I think that helps too, because I'm not a young child anymore. I'm a grown woman and it's almost 60 years old. I think people tend to listen a little bit more. It's like, maybe she's got something to tell me.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that helps for sure too. And I'm sure you're a lot younger than me, and I'm sure you've dealt with that stigma as well. Like, There
comes a point though where, just like you said, where you're like, I don't care. I literally don't care. If like I see the good side, once you see the light, nothing else really matters. It's not like anyone could ever say something so hurtful to get me to stop using cannabis, and I'm like, you need cannabis.
Right. It's funny because we were at a Christmas party at our community. We have different things, and there was a neighbor there, and I was talking to her, and she didn't know, and I said, yeah, I use cannabis. She goes, oh, I'm not going to judge you. I said, I don't care if you judge me. She looked at me. I said, I don't. I said, I know how much it has helped me. And if you care to know, I will share it with you. So,
gosh.
It was, she just looked and took a double take like, what?
It's so good though. It's good to like snap people out of that and make them think for a second and be like, oh, like, there actually is no reason to judge you because you're using cannabis, because look how amazing your life is right now.
Exactly. And they all drink. It's like, right?
That's a whole nother thing. Yes. Right? Nobody judges anybody for drinking. But
right. Exactly.
Yes.
And when I started here in Virginia, I had already been on the medical cannabis, and I started with a new primary care doctor. Mm-hmm. It was during COVID, and I walked in wearing my Cannabis Saves Lives mask. And
I love that you rocked that during COVID. That's amazing.
Oh, most definitely. I even went and got my COVID shot with it.
That's awesome.
In a big auditorium. And so, sorry, my dog's whining. That's why I moved. But so I've enlightened his staff as well.
Tell me more about that, because it's hard to do.
It is. And Well, I started, like I said, in Maryland. So my primary care doctor in Maryland obviously saw my journey, saw from me going on, 20 some pharmaceuticals to none.
Did they ever say anything about it?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then I had, because I moved from one area of Maryland to another, and I had gone back to my GYN that I hadn't seen for 10 years. I had gotten remarried, and I went in and they put me in the office, and he walks in and he goes, oh, he says my new last name, Mrs. Meredith. Oh, he's like, don't I know you? You look familiar. And I said, yeah, I was, Jeanne Alessi. He goes, oh my God, what have you done? You look awesome. And I said, I'm using cannabis. He said, tell me more. So I told, then he started prescribing. He got his license in Maryland and started prescribing because of seeing the difference it had made in me. It was incredible.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You're just changing life after life, just sharing your story. And that's why I'm so thankful that you are doing that here with us. I cannot wait for people to listen to this. Think about how many people are on that pharmaceutical hamster wheel. And if they can hear you be so successful and live this vibrant life afterwards, then it gives them hope that they can too.
Most definitely. And the main thing is, just stick with it. It can be frustrating, and you have to find what works for your body. That's the most frustrating part with cannabis, because it's not a one and done thing. You need to figure out what works for you and your body. And that's difficult, but oh my gosh, it's so much healthier. And just going to being on oxycontin and the whole stigma with that, when, the last couple of years that I was on it, having to go to the pharmacy and get the prescription filled, and I felt like a drug addict, which I guess in reality I was, you know what I'm saying?
But it was doctor approved.
Right. But still, because of everything coming, I don't have that anymore. I don't have that. I have to go and find this medication. I have to go and stand in line. I grow it here in my house.
It's beautiful. And I don't know if you've had the same experience, but growing a plant for the first time is just magical in and of itself.
Oh, yes. It's been awesome.
How was your first grow experience?
I was so lucky. We have a local RVA cannabis dispensary here that only does CBD, and I got my tent, the whole kit and caboodle from him.
Nice.
Everything, the dirt, everything.
That's so everything just easy. You just walked in, said, I need everything, and that was it.
Yes.
Awesome. That's
great. It was incredible. And I said to him, I know I paid a little bit more. He's a small mom and pop shop. And I said, as long as I can come in here with questions. And he said, that is fine.
Nice.
It made it so easy. I wound up with 3 plants. We can have 4 here in Virginia. I wound up with 3 plants, and I think I was 4.5 to 5 ounces between 3 plants.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting! Congratulations!
Thank you. And then I had a trim party with my neighbors.
How fun! Oh my gosh, I bet they loved it.
They did. So it's been fun.
But it turns into its own hobby. I feel like afterwards, and then the cooking is a whole hobby in itself too.
It is. Yep. You can get into so much. Look, I just stick with the easy stuff.
It's fun to experiment with. And I'm so glad that you said be willing to experiment, because so much of cannabis is trial and error, and being willing to keep experimenting, because we don't always need the same thing every day. Different things affect us differently, different dosages, different strains. And, we change too on a daily, weekly, yearly basis, and kind of just being willing to go along on the journey, go with the flow, and know that it's not always going to be perfect, but being willing to experiment is the best advice.
Yeah. And I find I switch up strains. I make gummies and chocolates, and I probably have 10 different strains of gummies and chocolates in my refrigerator. And I just switch them up because I have found that I get used to certain things.
Yes, absolutely.
If I take Northern Lights at night for 30 days, well, by the 30th day, it's not working near as well as it did on the first day of the month. So I tend to switch it up too. And just doing that, and hugely incorporating the CBD and CBG, I have found has helped. There's days when I don't even need a THC gummy. You don't have to have that every day. And just figuring out, like you said, what works for you is the most difficult, because you can't just walk into a store and say, okay, I have X, Y, and Z wrong with me. Hand me over what's going to work for me.
Yep.
And that's what we are so used to.
Yes.
And we've got to get out of that and listen to our bodies. And that's what's been another huge part of my journey, going off all the medications and now being so aware of my body and aware and in tune with my body. I now go to a chiropractor. I go faithfully every week. I go to a massage therapist. I go at least every month, if not every 2 to 3 weeks. And that incorporated with the cannabis has really helped me as well. It's all natural. It's all, and of course, I am in that office preaching my journey to people too.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You were spreading it all over. I just can't even imagine how many people have been affected by your story. And then now, hopefully, we'll just reach even more broader audience.
I'm so glad that you are doing this, Emily, so we can share this story with people. You know,
people need to hear your story. It's incredible.
People need to hear how healthy they can live.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Now, I want to be respectful of your time. This has been an amazing interview. I'm going to wrap up with the 4 questions I ask all of my guests. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. First one, what are you most proud of in your life to date?
Going off on the pharmaceuticals.
I mean, that is a feat in and of itself. I'm so proud of you. I can't even imagine what it's like going through that. And then to come out on the other side, like, look at you. It's amazing.
Been incredible for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. And I can't imagine how hard that was too. Like, what a scary decision to make. Like, you were so brave.
But having my children, my doctor, my husband standing beside me, willing to go through the journey with me, and knowing that there were people that had done it before me, that helped. You know, my pain management doctor sharing with me, well, we did happen to have somebody, you know,
one person.
Right, exactly.
But still, it's that little glimpse of hope. And that's what I hope that this interview offers. We don't know who's going to be listening on the other end, but hopefully this is the glimpse of hope for somebody who is in a similar situation as you were. Right. Yep. Now, on the opposite side, what do you feel like your life would look like if you didn't have cannabis at all? Well, I wouldn't be as nice a person as I am. I know that because just looking at how I reacted to things before, I was short-tempered. I was cranky. I didn't participate in life so much because I lived in pain all the time. Even though I was on all those medications, I still lived in pain. So I shied away from doing things. If people talked about, well, let's do this or this, I didn't know how I would feel. So I just didn't make plans. Whereas, oh my gosh, now I want to do things. I want to be with people. I want to be around. I don't feel miserable all the time. You know, I feel joyous. That's been the biggest change. And I know that I wouldn't be this happy, great feeling person that I am now. And that's what's made the huge difference. I actually feel good, you know, even though, you're in pain sometimes. And so it's such a different journey when you're on cannabis. You can handle it better. You know, it may, some days, like when it's rainy and wet and snowy, I'll get, you know, pain and whatever, but it's like, it's different because I'm not on those pharmaceuticals and I'm not addicted to all those medications, and I can vape a little bit more. I vape my flower and I feel so much better, you know, and then I'm laughing and, you know, I'm cleaning the house and yes, it's like such an improved quality of life. It most definitely is. Yep. When I met my husband, I told him, okay, I don't go to the grocery store. I don't empty the dishwasher and I don't vacuum. Well, I'm doing all of those now. Oh my gosh, he's got to be one happy man. Not that you should have to do any of those things, but just to have a wife who has the energy and the happiness and the joy, it's got to be great for your relationship too. Oh, it definitely has. Yep. Yep. Oh, I'm so glad. Now, if you could go back 10, 20, or 30 years ago and just give yourself a little piece of cannabis advice, if you could whisper in your ear, what would you say? Give it a try. You know, if you think about your history, if you think about when you used it in your life and how much it helped you, you know, because I had used it when I was a teenager, you know, and if I were to be able to go back and think, and if we'd have known
what we know now that about the endocannabinoid system. So I think 30 years ago was 10 years ago. I wish I could have said that, because I don't think 30 years ago, I would have trusted cannabis opposed to pharmaceuticals like I do now. And once you learned about the endocannabinoid system, it's not rocket scientists, guys,
I know. And then you're like, like that light bulb goes off and that's all you need.
Yes, exactly. For sure.
All right. Very last question. If you could be remembered for just one thing in the cannabis space, what would it be?
Helping others and sharing my journey with people, just doing what I'm doing, being truthful with people, letting them meet me or see me or hear my story, or just say, especially like if I think about the doctor that I went to, how he saw in me such a difference, if I could have a videotape of who I was then and who I am now, and to see the joy that has brought my world, and the joy that it can bring others' world. That's what I would want to be known for, being able to share the joy of cannabis.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You shared it here with us today. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I cannot wait. In my mind, someone somewhere in the world is going to listen to this and listen to your story and be like, if she can do it, I can do it. And hopefully just truly change their life. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
Congratulations. You've finished another episode of the Well with Cannabis podcast and are one step closer to discovering how you too can live well with cannabis. Thank you for listening in today. We hope this episode has been a helpful and informative one. Please visit emilykylenutrition.com for more information on today's show notes, guest information, recipes, and other resources. If you want more support and encouragement on your cannabis journey, please consider joining the private Well with Cannabis community. In this group, you can connect with like-minded individuals focused on improving their health and wellness through cannabis. Join the group today to continue your journey of wellness together at emilykylenutrition.com.